So here's a question. You start experiencing some odd symptoms. Do you get them checked out, or do you just hope they pass?
Yeah, well, Constance Buchanan chose option number 2. She figured that she was too young to worry about anything serious. The Fox Medical Team's Beth Galvin is here now with the details of her story.
And Sine and Tom, I think this is a really interesting story because what Constance did, a lot of us would do. She waited, she Googled her symptoms, and then she waited some more, figuring that there had to be an easy answer. But she never expected that that answer would be cancer. Constance Buchanan is 35, a mother of 2 girls, wife, and a survivor.
My mother had colon cancer, so I did have a history of it, but I still didn't really know the signs, the symptoms, anything like that.
She was only 33. Most people don't start getting screened for colorectal cancer until they're about 50. But the Carrollton logistics manager had pain, sometimes bleeding, when she'd use the bathroom.
I Googled, well, it could be this, and tried this.
The unfortunate part of colon cancer is that most people don't get warnings. But if you do get a warning, it's a blessing in disguise. How are you?
So Tanner Medical Center's chief of colorectal surgery, Dr. David Griffin, says don't ignore bleeding or really any major change in your bowel habits.
Everybody has their own regimen, their only way they go, so to speak. And if that changes, or if you notice a perceptible change, then that should be investigated.
Constance waited about a year before she got a colonoscopy.
He just comes in and, I mean, there wasn't any sugarcoating it, you know. He was just like, it looks like you have a cancerous mass in your rectum.
Constance underwent chemotherapy, radiation, and then surgery. Dr. Griffin removed the mass and part of her colon. And at first she struggled with the idea that she would need a colostomy bag to collect the waste that used to pass through her digestive system.
Just the irritation of it and the anger of it and being scared to go out in public because something may happen.
But she and Mark, her husband, researched everything about it, and she made peace with it.
And I kind of look at it as it's kind of like my survival trophy. You know, it's not a handicap, it's not embarrassing.
And in November of 2016, 8 months after her diagnosis, Constance Buchanan heard the magic words, no evidence of cancer.
It's something that's really, really hard to deal with. But I look back on it now and I'm like, wow, I did that. I accomplished that. I'm okay now. I feel great now. I really do.
And Constance was young, but she had one really strong risk factor. Her mom had developed colon cancer, and if you have a first-degree relative diagnosed with colon cancer, you should start getting screened 10 years before the age at which they were diagnosed. So that means first degree means your parent or a sibling. Say if that person was diagnosed at 45, you should start getting screened for colon cancer at 35. And Tom and Sinead, it's just really something worth having if you do have a family history, having this discussion with your doctor about when the best time is to get screened, how often to get screened. Most of us can wait until we're about 50 to start getting our colonoscopies.
She went from not knowing to having such a positive attitude to this whole thing. Yeah. What a person, what a great family.
Yeah.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you, Beth.